I'm at Wapiti Campground in Jasper. Yesterday I drove out. I did Saskatchewan Glacier Basin Trail. I get around here. Set up in the dark. And it's been raining all night. Just checked the internet. It's supposed to stop in a few hours. But yeah. This is part of the journey, right? Getting to the trailhead is always a thing. There's no such thing as a trailhead that starts in our own backyard. So yeah. Oh boy, that's a hell of a way to start things off, isn't it? It is supposed to be good for the backpack. It's just supposed to start out pretty crappy. Okay, coming along. 8:15. It's actually pretty early for me to be up and about, but I guess I'm eager to get at it. Alright, let's go get a shower. I paid for the campground, might as well get a damn shower. I'll say this for campground showers in the national parks. They're nicer than half the showers I've seen in hostels around the world. Hell, wilderness hostels around here, you don't even have showers. Before I head down to the Miette River Trailhead and park my car, decided to just poke my head in here. This is where I'm gonna get dropped off. So I just wanted to make sure it was correct. Out of the highway over there, right? I haven't been here in a few years. It's been 3 or 4 years. So I think after I did the North Boundary Trails, I think we're talking 4 years. Okay, I am at the parking lot. I just parked over there. Apparently the trail, you can see the train just finished getting across here. Apparently the trail is up there and kind of over here a bit. I remember there being like a box or registry you could put your name down and stuff. But I don't see any of that right now. Well, the next task is to get my stuff together. I mean, one thing about, if you put your backpack in order, then drive straight to a trailhead, and then you just pick it up and go. But can't do that right now, right? Everything's kind of scrambled because, like you go when you stay somewhere, your tent and everything is out, so now it's all kind of scrambled. So I gotta organize myself. All right, let's talk about what I'm doing. So I am on the National Geographic Jasper North map. That's the only thing that seems to even have this area in map form. So you can see I used it for the North Boundary Trail. All right, I got my writing all over it. Back in the days when I wrote a little more on the map. Here you can see, for a little reference, you can see there's the Berg Lake Trail. We all hope that's back next few years. All right, so this thing has been decommissioned so long that it's not actually on here, right? So here is Center Pass Miette Lake. That's one place I'm staying. I don't even have it on here. I am down here someplace, right? So I'm going up here, day 1, and then Miette Lake, day 2, and hopefully day 3. There's Center Pass, Grant Pass, Colonel Pass, and then I join up with, this is the Miette River Trail. And then the Miette River Trail, I'm gonna come out. So right now I'm actually down here. Even this trailhead isn't on the map. And I'm hoping to take 6 days for that. I have 3 different books with this trail in here. This is a wonderful book, but still the trail description is from 1996. Canadian Rockies Trail Guide, you know, there's not a lot of detail and stuff in there. And sometimes, too, I do find stuff's a little out of date. Even though it's the 10th edition, you know, just out, I found some things a little bit out of date. This Great Divide Trail book is probably the most recent, up-to-date description of this trail. So yeah, this is actually part of the Great Divide Trail. I would rather not leave anything in my car, and usually when I go on these backpacks, I don't leave jack. But I mean, I got my suitcase there. I mean, I have a few days after my backpack where I'm still gonna run around and hang around in the mountains. So I've got my iPad and my headset. I'm gonna stick them in the wheel well. Hopefully if my car gets burgled, maybe they won't look there. Honestly, what do I have to lose, you know? Get that like that. That. There you go. I guess a wheel well would actually be this thing here. Whatever. You understand, right? I stick it in where the spare tire is. Damn, had a shot at a ride. She was just here walking her dog, and now she says she's heading to Prince George, so she's going the wrong way. Or maybe she just told me that, because I told her I was going to hitchhike in what direction, so, yeah, you know. I'm a big proponent of getting hitchhiking done right at the beginning of a backpack. You know, I'm clean shaven, I'm clean, I'm not beaten up, you know, I can actually look a little bright, right? I'm not just half dead from a backpack. My backpack is generally pretty clean. Also, no one likes hitchhiking, so you might also just get it done and over with. Now you can enjoy your backpack, right? Also, no hat, no glasses. You know, you want to look trustworthy. You don't want to look homeless or to be a vagrant or whatever. You know, someone on drugs. But even just hat and sunglasses just makes you look a little less, a little shadier, right? Oh, I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. So yeah. All right. Finally got my house in order. Took a little while. It's official too. My car is the only one here. I got to hike out to the highway, about 100 meters, and hitchhike about 31 kilometers down to the Alberta-BC border. And just on the other side of it is the Coin Warden cabin. One thing that goes against me is I didn't see very much traffic going towards Jasper on my drive here. Also, there's nowhere to slow down. The best place to try to get a ride where people are already slowed down for like a turn or something, but here they gotta hit the brakes and stop from 100 kilometers an hour, so not sure why this guy is just blocking this whole way. That trailer is as long as a semi-truck, it seems. So hard to push out a smile. Big trucks don't even bother. It take them 5 minutes just to stop, right? So they're not stopping for sure. As someone who likes to do everything for themselves, I still find this hard. I hate asking people for stuff. I hate it. Absolutely. This is like, what, the 8th or 9th time I've done this? It gets a tiny bit better, but yeah. I definitely wanted to just get this over with today. You know, yesterday I could have driven my ass off from home, got here, hiked up 15 kilometers, doing all that in one day. It would have been a lot. So I took my time. I had the extra day off in order to do it. Obviously I got several days off extra, but yeah. As you can see, it's all quiet. I think getting a ride on a major highway is probably the hardest, actually. If you're on some backcountry road, people have pity on you or something. Yeah, I don't know. There are more locals that drive it. They're a little friendlier. Oh, now we got another convoy coming. Other train, that was fast. Yes, this is somehow interesting when you're just standing alongside the highway. Ooh, train. Look at that. Okay. Nice fella. Took about maybe 20 minutes to get picked up. Not so bad. Not so bad, you know. Decoying Warden cabin is just in here. You know what? When am I going to be here again? As long as there's no one in there who I'm going to disturb, why don't I dump my pack and go for a little walk? In Don Beer's hilarious book, tells a little story about this cabin. He says they installed a toilet in this thing, but there's no running water. So said the warden would just look at the toilet, you know, I have a toilet, and then walk outside and use the outhouse because there's no water. So how are you going to use the toilet? That's pretty funny. Don Beers has some pretty funny stories in his book. It's a weird combination of public and private. So you have this, which makes you feel like it's a public area, but everything else makes you feel like it's a private area. And there's a vehicle down there. All right. This here's just a house. It says private residence on it, even though it looks like it's uninhabited right now. But yeah, with the vehicle, I'm not going to go down there and, you know, intrude. Feels like I'm intruding if there's someone actually there. Kind of wanted to just check out the cabin, but yeah. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the hitchhike a little bit. Interesting character. You know, these guys who, I don't know, this guy really wanted to talk about bacteria. He really wanted to talk about bacteria. You know, bacteria will kill you, and, you know, plants have this, and he really wanted to talk about whatever, something he'd read on the internet, you know, and I would like start talking about, oh, this is kind of nice on here, you know, look at that lake, and sort of try to change the subject a little bit, and right back to bacteria. All right, I don't know what do you want to do? You want to wage war on bacteria? Or bacteria is here, we're never getting rid of it. Anyway, it was, it seemed like it was a bit of a revelation for him, bacteria. Anyway, really wanted to talk about it, but he gave me a ride. He gave me a ride 31 kilometers. He even drove me right down here. I thought I was going to have to like hike about half a kilometer or a few hundred meters at least from the highway. But he drove me down here, so, hey, you know, he can talk about whatever crap he wants. All right, back here. It was raining all night. It's been raining a lot of yesterday too, so a lot of puddles, but hey, you know, it's an old road bed. This is the old Yellowhead Highway road bed, and it also used to be an old train track as well, from the sounds of things. So, and I got to follow it for about 4.4 kilometers. So this is, yeah, the weather is crappy, but the first day, which is about, I don't know, 14 kilometers, something like that, to the old Rink Warden cabin site. The 3 books that I have, all of them have nothing really to say about this first day. So this is when you want the clouds and crap to be low, right? Because it sounds like the first day really doesn't have much to see. I had to go places for the horses to go graze from decoying. Sure, you probably noticed too, there's nobody at this trailhead either. So this is the Great Divide Trail. I fully expect to see some Great Divide hikers. They'll probably go ripping past me. Those guys are in great shape. They probably do 30-kilometer days. I don't. But obviously they wouldn't have a vehicle. They would just be dropped off, same as I was. I've been seeing some tracks, and now here's an entire roll for power coming down, you know, there's some kind of old, I don't know, pipeline, or maybe, yeah. But considering that Jasper lost power this summer for a little while because of the Chetamon fire, I can understand if they wanted to run a power line, like underground even, off to like Belmont, and then they have some redundancy going on, right? But you can see there's a lot of pegs and stuff like that. Hey, it just means that this road will be taken care of for the foreseeable future. Yeah, got some footprints. Maybe there is some human use going on here right now. Some GDT hikers. This trail is actually supposed to be pretty bad as far as like, you know, sinking into the bog and stuff. And all this rain could actually spell some difficulties, but oh well. I mean, it's been a very dry year too, so I'm not going to curse out the rain, especially considering how many places have been on fire this year. Old telephone pole. Either it fell over and just ended up there, or someone stashed it. There used to be telephone lines along here, clearly. You can see, even though this is an old road, that there was plenty of work and probably blasting and stuff to make it happen. Wow, I never would have imagined there's some kind of underground piping around here. Enough to need a manhole? Huh. Look at all the pegs. Like, is it existing, or are they putting new stuff in? There's tons of it. But I mean, these tracks here lead me to believe that this is all new. It's ironic, there used to be a telephone wire, and now they're probably putting in like fiber optic or something. High pressure petroleum pipeline. Okay, and then there's stuff going up here. Maybe that's the pipeline here. I don't know. This is the stuff you imagine when you're, all you got is a road to look at. So you're looking at all the pegging alongside it. On my first break, let's talk a little bit of safety. Know your gear, know yourself, know your trail. My gear is the same as it's been. I mean, there's been a few little adjustments, but mostly, you know, I have my Garmin GPS, I have my bear spray, you know, the usual safety items, right? Still rocking trail runners. You know, I started that last year. Know yourself. My back has been a constant worry this year. This is going to be the first backpack I do that's more than 2-3 days. So that'll be a stress. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do going forward with that. But this year I'm just going to power through, and hopefully I don't do any real damage. And yeah, I don't know, man. Know your trails. So I got to send a shout out to a guy who just recently put out a YouTube video about the Miette River Trail. Basically going exactly to where I want to go. I don't remember his name right now, like D Blogs or something. I'll flash it up on the screen. But that gave me the confidence to come and do the trail from this direction, because I wasn't so sure about doing it backward. And it's like 40 some kilometers, and it can be difficult to find the trail. It is part of the Great Divide Trail, and there's lots of Great Divide hikers hiking up it now, but still. So yeah, that gave me the confidence to come and do it this way. Also, the fact that they crossed the Resplendent Creek on like a ridiculous, like July 19th. So that's a major crossing. It's supposed to be like, it could be like late August, even early September, it could be an issue. And these guys crossed it that early. So I was going to go up Miette River to make sure that I safely get across that crossing. And, you know, because doing it this way, I have to cross. I must cross. But because those guys did it so early, it gave me the confidence to be like, you know what, it's fine. I'm end of August, you know, it's like 5 weeks after they crossed. So even with all this rain, I'm confident I will get across Resplendent Creek just fine. So yeah, means I can hike up the Miette River Trail the way that all the books describe it, in this direction. This little trail is kind of fun too. Because it was a railroad, they cut their way through this. It's always kind of fun to see that, right? A lot of it looks like this, but in that part, yeah. Surprised I haven't seen more stuff like this, you know, old stuff left over from the railroad, over from just random drivers coming by on this road. Well, what the hell? Here's a car. Here's a vehicle. There's a blue thing on there that says Stantec Construction, so. And I wonder what are these? It actually says telephone on it, so something underground. Oh, and then down here, there's another road. Well, geez. I might take a little side hike down here. Why the hell not? Okay. You can see there's a pole over here. I get the sense that there is this is like another industrial corridor. All right, like maybe this is an old telephone line track here. There is something metal over here. I'm gonna go check that out. Not entirely sure. It looks too big to be a paint can. Kind of assuming that whoever's here working is down here someplace, but yeah. Thought this was some kind of sign, and then I turned this over and it's just like a drawer from like a desk. There's another white thing over here too. Why would someone dump a drawer from a desk out here? Only a drawer. Oh, there it is. All right, it's a little nightstand and pretty obvious where the drawer comes from. But why? Why are all these cut? I guess this is could be a little camp spot right here, but I don't know. This is all kind of weird in here. Definitely. Just kind of wandering around in here. The road coming down is over there. So you can see it's been kind of tramped down here, so I don't entirely know what keeps going over here, but I'm not going to run around too much. I did find this. It's very old and seems to say vent. I mean, maybe that was the railroad and down here was the road, the old Yellowhead Highway or something. I mean, every so often they could have combined, right? Back in the old days, they would do that. The cars would drive on the train tracks. I don't know if that ever happened around here, but that has been known to happen. Okay, well, that's all I'm gonna do looking around. You know me, I don't like to. If I can turn a rock over and look underneath, I will. I climb back up here and just sort of look over here, which would be kind of pretty, except there's a screaming highway on the other side. And look down. Hidden trash heap. Yeah, I suspect there's a lot of those. They're just not very visible, right? I mean, when you look at the kind of the gruesome construction of the railways, a lot of it was done by a lot of it was done by Chinese. Conscientious objectors were used. Japanese interns were used for some of the stuff in the parks. And they say that for every mile of railroad that was built, there's somebody, holy crap, this thing just beeped. I think I'm about to get company. Or maybe I walked too close to it. I was right in front of it and it didn't go off. Anyway, they say that for every mile of railroad, there's a body buried in the woods. Alrighty. Down there is actually already That's a pipeline corridor down there. Did not know. I had a little chat with the ladies. They were nice enough to indulge my curiosities. Oh, down here somewhere is a pipeline. Those ladies were just checking out some embankments that were kind of at risk and such. Kind of neat. All right, carry on up. I can see something else of curiosity up here. It's kind of white. Probably nothing, but you know. Hey man, this is just 4.5 kilometers of this walk on this road. You got to make something of it, all right? You got to figure out some stuff. Pretty obvious now. When I saw that one trail come out, that was the second pipe. So now you can clearly see the second pipe on this pipeline. The one up here, there's one down there. Trans Mountain. Certainly have seen a whole lot more stuff on this little 4.5 kilometers of road than I expected. More fiber optic cable. Alrighty. Not bad, you know. Not bad at all. There's a railway and cars on the other side, but it's pretty. Getting over a lot of muddy crap. I don't know why this part here is deemed to be weaker in some way, so they needed some of these. For some reason it coincides with this big tree that fell. Had to kit everything out. The trailhead going off this road is supposed to be just in a few hundred meters, and that's good because I can use a brake. There we go, got it. I'm gonna walk down to the end of this road. Looks like it's about 5 seconds down here. Apparently it stops at a old collapsed bridge where it would cross over, I think, Miette River. Yeah, you're not really in danger of missing the trailhead because you come to this, the whole thing ends pretty fast. I mean, this is without a doubt the end of the road. Amazing how long cement will last. And there you go. There's parts of the old bridge. Look how much the other side grew in. It is gone. It is gone. Whatever road was there is just, yeah. Gone, gone, and gone to gone. Time to get my torn, beat up rain pants on. I'm sure I'm gonna be brushing by a lot of wet stuff in here. I really should have taken the duct tape to these things. Whatever. As advertised, right away the climbing starts. And brushing my way through things. I think it's just gonna be tedious forest climb for about 9 kilometers. So that's getting a lot of it out of the way today, that's for sure. I don't know who's been clearing up on this trail, but I thank them. This is the kind of thing that I have a hell of a time doing with a handsaw, that's for damn sure. I'm very happy with the condition of the trail. Eastern Jasper National Park got smashed by a storm on June 19th. It dumped like a bunch of heavy snow and everything. And the South Boundary Trail and the big trunk of the North Boundary Trail were just horrible. I guess the park staff was up there clearing, and it's just were just horrible. I guess the park staff was up there clearing, and it's just brutal. But it doesn't look like it hit the west side of the park. This is honestly why I'm on this trail, because I had something planned in the east, but yeah, I'm glad I came over here. You can see the elevation I'm getting. It's not bad. It's pretty gradual, but yeah, I mean, obviously you're brushing through a lot of crap as you're climbing. Key to this is patience. Take a lot of breaks. For a while there, I was seeing the highway still, and I could, it's nice to see everything you've climbed. Now I've kind of turned away and not really a way to see that anymore. All right, I read Dustin's book, the Great Divide Trail book, and there is a walkway, a boardwalk of 1.9 kilometers. That means I haven't even gone that far yet. Also says there are 580 meters to climb, so, I can be a little easier on myself. All right, the trail has flattened out a little bit. Still a slight climb, but hey, I'll take it. It's better than what was going on before. Look at that, it was only about 5 minutes away from where I was whining about not having gone 1.9 kilometers yet. Cool. Alrighty. There we go. Still in pretty decent shape, really. Well, I went past the boardwalk, and then Dustin says that the first good water source is another 2.4 kilometers away. Well, maybe at the 2.4 kilometer mark, because in my mind, this is fine. Obviously you boil and filter because this is coming out of the forest. But, this isn't far from the boardwalk, really. Ugh. All right, moving on. You can see a little iron spring popping out here. Didn't even go by far, really just on the trail, that's all. Pretty sure it's iron. I believe iron is orange. Once again, I don't know who's out here. But thank you. Saved me a lot of hopping over things. Definitely feel like I finished climbing something. All right. I'm along this. It's just a very steep drop in some places. Kind of place where you don't want to take a wrong step and start tumbling. And actually a little bit of downhill right now, so that's a nice treat. Cute little bridge. It's slippery too. Jesus. All right, be careful going across that. I think this is the spring that he talks about. It matches as far as the kilometerage, as I marked the boardwalk. So that means I've only done about 4.3 kilometers. Definitely got quite a ways to go. Just been sort of cruising my way down here, but it's been slow, definitely. Well, now I know who's coming up here. Parks Canada is coming up here and cutting things out. Uh-oh. The camera is just over there, and all of a sudden I have two trees to jump over. This might be exactly where Parks Canada stopped. And now it'll be tree hopping time. Oh boy. There's tree number 4. That's it so far, but yeah. I knew this day was going to be tough. This is the most kilometers I am doing. Like as far as the Miette River Trail, I think on the Moose River Trail, my last day I have maybe more. This is the most elevation I'm doing in one day. And of course my bag is full of food. And I mean, look at this, like I'm just constantly pushing through crap. And now I'm gonna start hopping over trees. Try and keep track. Ugh. Parks Canada does like to ask these questions when you look at trail reports. So, but yeah, this is going to be bit of a trudge, you got to say. Tree number 10. Crawling under is a pain in the ass. Things have definitely taken a little step up in difficulty now. All right, this is a bridge that is, again, in Dustin's book, 2.3 kilometers from the spring. Oh, that's a waypoint I've been waiting for a bit. Time for another break. Another bridge still doing its thing after God knows how many years. Oh, it's actually like a boardwalk. I'm still on it. It's completely covered in moss. That's surprising. I can barely even tell. Yeah, I'm still on it till now. All that's boardwalk. Cool. Kind of cool. It's supposed to be a creek crossing 900 meters from that bridge. I don't think that was it. Check this out. I think this was for that boardwalk. Look at all the beat up old nails. Now it's just left out here to rot because, I mean, like, clearly, God, I wonder how long this has been here. Anyway. Well, the trail was supposed to get worse past that bridge, and it kind of does. There's a lot of this playing hopscotch through the rocks and water. I mean, my feet are soaked, but still, nobody wants, you know, a bunch of mud on the top of their boots, right? Top of their shoes. I think that's the stream that's 900 meters from the bridge, so. The trees has also gone up. This is number 33, and that one over there is gonna be number 34. Phew. I feel like I'm in the home stretch though, but that could take a while. It's 1.8 kilometers to a bridge tributary, and then it's just a few hundred meters more till the old cabin site at that point. After seeing nothing but trees for quite a while, an old avalanche chute is kind of interesting. Tree count's at 47. What do we got here? I'm gonna try to get down to it, but this is steep. What the hell are you? That's wood. I haven't the slightest damn clue. Still no clue. No idea. One of the mysteries of life, I guess. Old boardwalk, maybe? Why even tear them up? Just leave it. All over the place. Yeah, look at all this. Just leave it in place. I mean, what's the harm? Nature's going to take it back, whether it's there or whether it's there. Oh, more of it here. Huh. If I didn't know better, I think this was an Allen Fair special. You know, never mind building bridges. Let's actually tear the ones out that are there. Oh, let's leave all the nails sticking up too. More of them here. Wow, there's tons of it. Holy crap. Jeez. 86 trees. I am really ready to be done. The tributary bridge, again, that Dustin talks about is apparently 200 meters away. Whew. Ah. 87. Well, this is supposed to be a bridged tributary. You can tell it once upon a time it was. And right to the right is supposed to be a campsite. And this matches the waypoint that Dustin gives in his book. Maybe there's another one down there, but this so far does not match. Anyway. Let's move across this. Doesn't matter a whole lot. My feet are completely soaked. Well, I mean, wasn't really planning to camp at that spot anyhow. I wanted to get to the rink, to the former Rink Warden site, where like 3 different books have said there's a good place to camp. So, all right, it's a big clearing. This has got to be where the Rink Warden cabin was, because I haven't seen a single clearing like this in the woods. Not one. 0. There's a little buckle from someone's backpack. Oh, look at that. Perfect little spot for a tent. Okay, awesome. Little piece of metal here. This looks like a file. Yeah, it is a file. I gotta figure out what water. I can hear water way the hell down there. I suppose I could walk back the 300 meters to that crossing over there. One option. I just realized these are pieces of old foundation. All right, I saw a little something kind of bashing through the woods over there, a little trail, so I'm gonna go see if that leads to some kind of water source. Very quickly, that just goes to a marsh. So that's at least to nothing. A little surprised. Just noticed the camp spot is dry. Somebody was here last night, blocking the rain. I can't find anything. I don't know when this cabin was taken out of here, but, and this has got to be one of the worst views. Like, this is brutal. This is a shit. Usually Warden cabins have got awesome views. So I guess this was the old foundation. Just a guess, right? It already looks like it. Not much for a cabin. A little trail going up in the bush, and there's another spot which is definitely just fine for a tent. There's no water. I'm gonna have to go back on the trail. It's only a few hundred meters, but yeah, considering that I went over some trees and stuff, I think final tree count was 95 damn trees. It's been a day. I can only imagine that without the Parks Canada, the first 4.5 kilometers would be more like 130 or 140. And the outside of my dry sack is surprisingly wet. Examine the backpack. And it is just wet. Going through 1,000 willows and adlers and stuff that are full of water, that just does a number. Like I haven't taken my pants off and stuff, but I'm sure that everything is wet. I mean, what rain pans are going to stand up to 1,000 branches full of water hitting it, right? It's just not going to happen. So You know, the goal is to keep the underwear dry, but yeah, forget it. I mean, even this is kind of wet, right? You can, yeah, like the bottom part is definitely wet. So yeah, it's been an interesting first day. The tent is already a little bit wet just from being in the rain all night last night in Wapiti Campground. Okay, decided to carry on down the trail a little bit and see if there was water closer, and there is. Like right, you got to go down a little bit, but here it is. Now that other water was faster, kind of looked nicer, but you know, pretty clear. I think it's good enough to use with my tablets, so I'm going to use it. I basically just decided I like everything with mushroom in it, so I don't care if it's vegetarian, whatever. It tastes great. I just love it. So I swear to God, half the stuff in my cupboard now is mushroom. Mushroom this or mushroom that. And let me tell you, on a dreary day where I'm wet and now I'm kind of cold because I've stopped hiking, it feels amazing. So good. Well, it's only 10 after 8. Usually at this point, I would go explore something. There's not a damn thing around here to explore. I mean, I've already established that. I finished my exploring in 5 minutes. All right. The only other two options are get a fire going. It was raining all night, so yeah, not attractive. Or go get into my sleeping bag because, yeah, I'm a little tired of being cold. So I guess it's sleeping bag time, right? I mean, you don't usually go to bed at like, you know, not even 9 o'clock in the real world, but this is the backpacking world. The sun is going down. It'll be dark at like 9:30 anyway, so yeah. Man, I'm silly. Remember I was saying that the first part of this is not even on here? Well, there's a backside to this map. It's just... Ugh. Alrighty. Here we go. That was the trailhead. I hiked it down here pretty much to the border, and then I went up Miette River. I've been hiking along Miette River the whole time. Probably I am in between these two. That's probably where it is. Okay. I mean, it still doesn't give me a whole lot to work with, but yeah, you know, kind of cool. All right, I'm in my bag. Bunch of wet stuff already. This time I got my tent organized. So this is what I do now with my poles. After these are brand new poles. I was putting them in the tent, and you know, they jammed, I don't even know what corner it is anymore, but they jammed a big hole in the corner. And so now I've decided to stick them up out like that, and so the straps are away from porcupines, right? Figure that will definitely, you know, hopefully if a porcupine is like knocking these over to get at the straps, I'll at least hear that. All the dry crap, all the wet crap is over there. And my dry bag even got a little bit wet on the outside, so I don't want it to, I don't want to put it underneath my knees and get my sleeping bag a little wet. So this is actually my sleeping bag dry sack. So I stuffed all my other clothes and stuff in there. I got a bunch of other just random stuff over here. I already have a set of clothes that's all wet. I mean, I basically had a wet day, a rain day. It didn't rain on me at all, but the trail's so crappy that, you know, I mean, so much wet stuff I walked through. But I brought 3 sets of, you know, 3 sets of underwear, 3 shirts, And now I'm glad I did. I mean, 3 is a bit much for a 6-day trip, but I mean, on day 1 to have this happen, it's, now I'm glad I did. Well, on that note, good night. I have 3 trail descriptions, and only one of them mentions when I pop out of the forest. It's another 8 kilometers, so it's 18 kilometers of this, you know, smashing through stuff. And then when you do pop out, now the trail becomes a little bit indistinct and a little hard to find. So this is a tough trail, man. No one says it's easy. That's for damn sure. No one says this trail is easy. So I guess, you know, this is expected. Good night.